Oh, hi, everybody. I hope I'm live. Um, all right. I have to admit that I'm new at Facebook Live. I've never done it before. It's the first time um, when I do this. So I'm a newbie. So forgive me if I do something that is not quite well. Anyway, thank you everybody for being here and joining me for this live event. It's actually, oh, wow. Let me give a shout out to some people. Tammy, hi. Diana, hi. Look at this. Prash, hi. How are you guys doing? Daniel, Mark, oh my God, look at this. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate this. It's so nice to connect with you all. Um, I would like to say for the beginning, thank you, first of all, for those of you who have connected with me in time and have sent me meaningful questions and feedback. And, really the connection with you, it means a lot to me. So thank you so much for all of you. For those of you who know me already, for my students and graduates, um, you know who I am. For those of you who are new, let me introduce myself. So I'm Adriana James. I'm a master trainer of NLP, master trainer of timeline therapy, hypnosis, and NLP coaching, which is a different branch of the science and art called NLP, or neuro linguistic programming. But my purpose for talking to you live today is actually timeline therapy. We'll get there in a moment. Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting experiment. It's the first one for me too. Speaking of timeline therapy, because usually I do timeline therapy in the trainings, which presupposes a face-to-face interaction with the people in the training room, with you, so I can get immediate feedback from you. How's it going? But today, except from the fact that I would like you from time to time to signal to me how is it going when we do together this process, I will have no feedback. So it's a first time, which means I'm going to ask you when we get there to follow my instructions precisely so you can have a massively positive experience. I want to share this with you from the bottom of my heart, just because it's time. It's time for everybody to do this. So I will guide you live. Let me give you the big picture of what we're going to do today. I'm going to guide you live through the process of called timeline therapy. And that leads me to say one thing, that timeline is not a new concept. Timeline is a very, very, oh geez, ancient. Think Aristotle. For crying out loud, that's old. And so, but timeline therapy is a series of specific processes. So timeline this, timeline that, there is a lot of stuff going on. But timeline therapy is a series of specific processes that allow somebody to let go of negative emotions from the past only and create the future in a way which we make it happen. So, but before I start, I'd like to know about you. Where are you from, please? Oh, Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Shout out to Sandra. Good to see you. Um, so let me know where you're from, so I know, where we are here. From, oh, North Sydney. Hello, Thomas from Sydney. Wonderful to see you here. Hi. Let me know where you're from, guys. It would be really, really nice to see this. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, wow, look at this, Canada. Thank you, Allison from Canada. Wow, look at this. Oh, I went from all over the place. This is marvelous. Australia, Boston. Oh my God, look at this. Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. All right. So, that being said, let me tell you what led me to do this live event. Because I think it's necessary to understand where I'm coming from. Yeah. And no, I'm not going to talk to you about COVID-19. I'm not going to talk to you about, because you hear this all the time everywhere, so probably your head's full of it. However, what I want to talk to you about is the fact that the consequences of the health crisis that we all experience, no matter where we are in the world, I don't care where you're from, this is a global crisis. The consequences of this put an enormous amount of stress on all of us. Whether you are a CEO of a company, or whether you are employed by a company or corporation, or whether you are employed by the government, whether you are a small business owner, we all have consequences. So first of all, we're all stuck in our houses now. So we can go out and do what we normally do, when this, before all this health crisis hit around the world. So the consequences on us, whether you are aware of it consciously or not, are a significant amount of stress. And if you allow me to be blunt, I can say that stress is a bigger killer than coronavirus itself, because stress is felt in our bodies, throughout the body. Our internal organs, our hearts, our livers, our everything feels the stress. And so therefore that stress is, what is stress? It's a combination of different negative emotions. People can describe stress as fear, or as panic, or as anxiety. Some people can describe stress as anger or frustration, or feeling sad or depressed, or a combination of those emotions, all which I just mentioned are negative emotions. But in general, prolonged stress is hard to deal with. It takes a toll on all of us. That doesn't mean there is nothing we can do. In fact, that's why I'm here today, to show you that all of us, we can do something about it, and more, we can help ourselves, and obviously our families, our friends, our loved ones, the people in our community, to deal better with the situation, and to change this so we create something better once all this is over, because it's going to be over, folks. We won't be stuck in our houses for the rest of our lives. You understand that? Yeah. So, well, whatever it is that we're going through, it doesn't mean that we need to suffer the consequences of the stress. Yes, somebody said in the chat, toxicity of the body. Yes, absolutely. So all of that is something that we all deal with right now. So that led me to think that, so what do we experience today? Virtually the world economy has almost come to a grinding halt. Now you say, what do I care? Of course you do. Because if the world's economy, the geopolitics of the world are changing, the relationship between countries are changing, the governments are put in a position to take measures in such a way that this doesn't spread uncontrollable all over the place, and so on and so forth. So there are new things that we're experiencing right now that we haven't experienced. We have no relationship to, or how to deal with this in the most positive way. And you say, what's positive in this? Not in the crisis, but I want to bring to your attention that we talk about this crisis, or we hear crisis. What if we are actually being part of a momentous time in history, and together we are creating history? Just think of it for a second. What if, because we're all pushed against the wall, we're forced to create something new, something better as a result of this crisis? So personally, I don't think of it as a crisis. You know that old adage that says with every crisis, there is an opportunity, right? And it sounds a little cheesy at times, because you take advantage of crisis. No, that's not how I think of it. What I think of it is the fact that there is opportunity to create something, change things in such a way that we really create a better world. You know that one of our, probably you know, most of you, that one of our highest values in the company is transform the planet. Now, how are we going to do this? How specifically? So we have a bunch of techniques. Yes, yes, yes. We have a bunch of things. We have timeline therapy. We have this, we have that. But in the bigger picture, the overall picture, we need to change something in ourselves and allow our minds, allow our creativity and imagination, and I want to say a little more about that in a moment, our creativity and imagination to create something new, something better. Now you say, okay, that's all nice and dandy and handy, and it sounds really good. It sounds really encouraging and motivating, but how am I going to do this, right? First of all, let me tell you what not to do, and then I'm telling you what to do, okay? So fear as a negative emotion. You can call it worry, you can call it unease, you can call it by different names, but I'm just calling it under a generic name, fear. Fear of unknown, fear of what's going on, fear of moment-to-moment things. So all of that, I'm just going to label it fear. I know you may call it differently, but let's call it fear, yeah, for our intents and purposes today. Fear and panic and negative emotions of this kind are literally paralyzing. Think of a herd of animals. If a danger or a threat, like a predatory animal, comes by, some of them will run. Some of them who are bigger and more powerful will fight, like a rhino will fight a lion, and so on and so forth. But some of them will get paralyzed by fear. They'll just freeze. Now, human beings react in a similar way. Some of us fight, some of us flee, run away, and some of us get paralyzed. Now, we are in a position where there is nowhere to flee, first of all, because this situation encompasses the whole world. Wherever you are in the same situation as I am here. And so there's nowhere to flee unless you fly to Mars, in which case, let me know, I'm coming with you. Right. But there is nowhere to flee. Fight what? Take a pillow and punch it? That doesn't work either, yeah? So in physical fight, I mean, yeah? But the most dangerous thing, there are things you can do to fight it in order not to get caught in the stress. But we'll get a little later there. But fear, the freezing part of fear is the most dangerous. Because then you are caught in a situation where literally you are paralyzed. You know that you should do something to change, but you don't know what. You can't even think because the negative emotion overwhelms you. The negative emotion itself overwhelms you. So I'm going to read one little thing here that I wrote in Timeline Therapy Made Easy book that I wrote a few years ago, and I don't know how to say it better, so now you're going to see me reading, and I apologize for that, but I don't know the paragraph from memory. But I say there that having feelings, including negative emotions, that is, makes us human. Listen, without negative emotions, we wouldn't know that something's wrong. So negative emotions are not bad per se. In the moment, please pay attention, in the moment. But my contention is that there is no point in holding on to negative emotions that happened last week, 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or when you were a baby or a toddler or a teenager. Now you'll say, but who cares if I hold on to the negative emotions from the past? Yes, you do care, because your behavior today, the strategies that you have today, the capacity to be creative and innovative today is based on your past experiences. And if you had a lot of negative emotions in past experiences, by the way, who hasn't? I surely had, and I'm sure you did too. But it doesn't mean that we should hold on to those. And more, here's the benefit. Here's the benefit. And more, when you let go of the negative emotions from the past, you can think differently and your behavior is different. Let me go back to what I wrote in Timeline Therapy Made Easy, yeah? So having feelings makes us human, and yet there is a tendency to deny that we have emotions, especially negative emotions, and to squash their existence as something unwanted and bothersome. Few people want to spend much time thinking about their negative emotions or limiting beliefs or limiting decisions, let alone find the time to figure out their source and learn how to let them go from your past memories. There is hardly a person on earth who, without conditioning, never felt any emotions. Sure, you can do this by conditioning. It's called massive dissociation. And I'm sure you know people who are oh so cool and oh so rational and oh so logical all the time that seems like they don't have any emotions. But that's conditioning. Yeah. In general, and I'm making a broad generalization, in general, human beings do have emotions, including negative emotions. So back to what I wanted to read. So, granting that it is possible to dissociate completely from feeling anything, as in case of some medication for traumatic experiences, or as in behavioral conditioning, but in general, feeling emotions is a normal human phenomenon. And yet, most people try to ignore their negative emotions. Now, here I am saying exactly the opposite. Negative emotions are good because they signal to us that something's wrong in our environment. But there is no equal sign between feeling negative emotions in the moment and continuing to feel them forever. Do you understand the difference? Give me a thumbs up if you do. Because I want you to understand this very, very well. There is no need to feel bad or to hold these memories with negative emotions forever. This is a very important concept. Okay? Good. Now, next, give me a thumbs up if good, thank you. If you got that one. Perfect. Wonderful, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Good. That's the only way I would know that you got it. Good. Wonderful. Good. Now, obviously, I won't be able to teach you timeline therapy here because it will take me 3 days to do so. But I'll do the process with you. But I want to warn you, here is a big red, blinking red lights, warning, okay? No, it's serious. I'm serious. I may look like I make a joke out of it, but this is serious. Please, for those of you who are not trained in timeline therapy, do not attempt to do timeline therapy with somebody else just as a result of watching this video live. Because there are other considerations that you don't know. I will take care of all those considerations today. So we'll make a very easy, light, and safe process for all of you who have not done timeline therapy before. But please do not attempt to do this with someone else because you don't know. I say this with all my love and respect. You don't know how to do it properly. Okay? Can we agree on that? Please, everybody, heed my warning, because if you do it, you're on your own. And don't blame me or don't blame timeline therapy. This is the disclaimer. Yeah? Don't blame me or timeline therapy if you do something that doesn't work. And then you'll say, well, it didn't work. Well, because you don't know how to do it. And again, I don't mean to say you don't know or you're not intelligent or you're not capable. That's not my intent. I speak from the bottom of my heart. There are considerants that you need to learn before you attempt to do this. as useful as it may be for you today. Good. So I said a moment ago that we are hard pushed against the wall. And we cannot, so we have a problem which I put in a theoretical box right here. Let's say this is the problem which we encounter, which is the health crisis and the consequences of this health crisis that we all feel right now. And there are consequences that we start feeling which are obvious already. Like according to last Thursday, I think there were 3.3 new applications for welfare in the US alone. 3% of small businesses like restaurants and bars have already gone belly up. These are massive consequences. Now, you may not be one of these people, or you may, I don't know. I hope not. But this is reality. This is reality of facts. So there are already consequences. And this is what we need to focus on, how to change those. How to change those us individually, whether we are that business owner that just had a restaurant, that lived with a very, very small margin, and now it cannot afford to continue. Or whether you were employed somewhere and because of what happened, you've just been let go of. Or maybe you're afraid of something, maybe you're dipping in your savings. And all of those are reality. Sometimes people say to me, why are you not focusing on what you don't want? It's not like I'm focusing on what I don't want, because I'm focusing on solutions, and so should you. But I cannot ignore reality. This is reality. Then what do we do, yeah? What do we do? So if this is the box, which is the situation we're in right now, and we call this the health crisis, let's call it this way, yeah? Because I need to call it somehow, right? The health situation around the world. We need to think individually, because it starts with one person and it ripples in the family and community, how to think outside that box. And I know you heard this before. Oh, let's think outside the box. But how do you do that? And I would like to propose, this is very important, I would like to propose that you cannot even begin to think outside the box if you are experiencing negative emotions as fear. You cannot even begin to think outside that box if you experience negative emotions such as fear or anxiety or panic, which are all derivatives of fear. Yeah. So, luckily, you got right now, every one of you, you got right now two qualities which are so characteristic to human beings. You cannot not have them now. And those two qualities are called creativity and imagination. But you can sit there and go, but I don't imagine things, I'm not creative. And I would say, you believe you're not, but you are. Because these are innate, these are part of hardware, are part of what makes us human beings. There is no such thing, I'm not creative and I cannot imagine new things. There is no such thing. And if you think differently for yourself, I would urge you to reconsider. So these major qualities, creativity and imagination, are vitally important because those are the two qualities that we need to employ right now to create this new, whatever new thing will be, at the end of this dip that we're experiencing called the health crisis. Okay? So, therefore, creativity and imagination are free to express themselves. Let me give you some examples already, because I already encountered them. I talked to a good friend of mine just yesterday, and she's a hairdresser. And of course, the salon is closed, and she's on a risk to hi, Sue, hello. I'm seeing the comments here. her salon being closed, she's on a risk of not earning any money. Now she's having two daughters. Of course, she's having responsibilities. She's having a family, and she's thinking, okay, what do I do now? Some other people will be worried, sit home, watch Netflix and eat, Cheetos or whatever. But she didn't. She decided immediately, you know what? I am going to reorganize and I am going to do this in my home. I have a special room separately designated for this, and I'm going to take all the precautions necessary in order to do it safely. But she reorganized all this. Now, my admiration went to her because she didn't sit down and cried as a victim. She immediately found something else to do. You need to understand that you are needed. What you've done, your life experience, I don't care what you do. You can be a plumber, you can be a doctor, you can be a professor, you can be a technician, you can be an IT person, it doesn't matter. What you have to offer is needed right now. Get it through your head. It's very important. Yeah, it's so important because then once you start from this premise, you realize that you make a difference. Now, how you make a difference is start thinking differently, and thinking differently is only possible if you get outside of this box which you experience and we are in right now. I hope this made sense. I know it went a little bit convoluted. I hope it makes sense. Let me know. Let me know if you are with me, guys, so far, please. So I can get feedback from you. Let me know if this makes sense, okay? I'm just going to look for your comments a little bit. Right, yeah, raise consciousness, Mark. Yes, you are totally correct. Mark said in the comments, raise consciousness. Yeah. But how do you do that, Mark? In our trainings, I'm fond of saying that consciousness equals awareness. Now, awareness of what? Awareness, first of all, of our environment, what's really going on, but also awareness of what's going on inside of us. Because most people do not pay any attention of what's going on inside them. And most people, again, are not aware of one of the basic principles in NLP, which is that what we feel inside as our state, I'm going to stay on this today because it's timeline therapy, huh? There's more to it, but our state, our emotional state, that is, our emotional state influences our behavior. And you have experienced it. Let me give you just a simple example. One day you are frustrated or you are in a bad mood, and your behavior reflects your mood. I mean, this is not rocket science. It's not like I'm telling you something that you haven't experienced already, but I'm bringing you to your awareness. So yes, consciousness, raising consciousness, it's true. By raising awareness of reality of facts around us, and also reality of inside. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, because this is how it works. Good. So far, so good? I hope so. Because now I would like to go into talking about a little bit about timeline therapy and why this is so useful and it can help you a lot, and why am I doing this with you guys and girls and everybody. One more thing I want to say before, because I got my notes here. So I remember to say everything I want to say. This process that we're about to do is as valuable when you are 10, 15 years old as it is when you are 80, 90 years old. There is never too late a time to let go of all your negative emotions from the past. There is scientific evidence that negative emotions accumulated in the memories from the past, your past experience, The negative emotions accumulated from the past have taken a toll not only on your behavior, but also on your health. And I am actually surprised. This is no news. This is known from the 90s and there were published articles in reputable medical journals that associated, increased heart attack on people who are more angry and frustrated and so on and so forth. I don't want to quote now this. We go into details that it's too much for this. Anyway, but presence of negative emotions, aside from not allowing you to think clearly, be creative and imaginative, innovative, pivot, change, think of something new to replace what you cannot do right now, so you can ensure an income, so you can ensure that you will be okay. The presence of those negative emotions is stopping us also in terms of it takes a toll on our health. When we're stressed, listen, you have experienced this. When you're stressed, you cannot sleep well. If you don't sleep well, are you better off tomorrow? Are you more capable tomorrow? Are you thinking more clearly tomorrow? Or you run around and you feel, oh my God, I'm so tired, I'm like in a fog. I think I made my point. Yeah, and I know I'm not telling you anything new that you haven't heard or known, being conscious of it or not, but I want to bring this to your awareness right now, because this is the time when we need to think differently, all of us. And then keep connected with each other. That's what I call shared intelligence. Because you may come with an idea, I may come with an idea. Listen, I learn as much from you as you learn from me. I'm no different from you. Absolutely. You think, but maybe some of you say, but I had a bad childhood. So have I. But I had this in my life. And probably everything that you are going to describe to me, I'm going to say, yep, I experienced that too. So regardless of your past, I'm telling you, you can be free of that luggage. You can be free. You don't have to be prisoner of your negative emotions from the past. And that process allows you more creativity and more imagination and getting yourself out of stuck, finding new solutions, finding new things, because together, folks, I want you to get this. Together, we are making history. This is not an event that will happen over and over and over and over and over and over. I don't care what you're being told. This is a worldwide event. And if you're old enough to know, it never happened before to this extent that we know of. And you'll say, yeah, but Spanish flu and whatever. Okay. At the level we're at right now, and at the level it affects the world economically, geopolitically, as I said, financially, personally, each individual, small business owners, employed people, and so on and so forth. Good, enough of that. I hope I made my point, and I hope you understand how I think about this. Because there is opportunity for all of us. And there is this opportunity through what I just described one moment ago, called shared intelligence. We all have capacities and resources, but when we're stuck in negative emotions, those are not available to us. And that leads me to timeline therapy. Now, as I begin to do this process with you, as I said, this is an interesting experiment. I'm going to say this again, because I've never done it live online. Never did this. I've done it always in the training room. And what's the difference? It's the immediate feedback. Yeah, we talk and you give me feedback. But I can't talk to all of you now because I think we have over 500 people participating. That will take us a long time if I take all the feedback from 500 people simultaneously. So, therefore, I need to ask you something. And please pay attention. You need to follow. If you do the process, I'm not saying you should, it's your choice. I'm offering this for free from the bottom of my heart with the intention to really help you, to help us, to help all ourselves. Yeah. But if you choose to do the process, you need to follow my instructions precisely. I'm going to say this again. You need to follow my instructions precisely. I'm sure you have done other processes. Many of you do meditation. Many of you do other processes working with expanding consciousness. Some of you have done psychological processes like walking the timeline or gestalt therapy or all sorts of other things. Please do not compare, and please treat this like it's new and follow my instructions, because if you don't, and I have no way of saying whether you do or don't, the responsibility is on you. You have the power in your hands. But if you don't, and you don't succeed, please do not blame me, and especially do not blame timeline therapy. I've been in this field for, oh God, too long, 22 years now, and I know timeline therapy works. And all our timeline therapy institutes, and there are probably hundreds of them around the world, which are our graduates, which successfully do timeline therapy with personal one-on-one sessions and in trainings, teaching people. And we all had the experience of doing timeline therapy with a great amount of people. I've seen probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people doing it every year, and I know it works if you follow the process exactly as I guide you through it. Now, this is a big warning because I would like you guys, everybody, to be successful, to have a meaningful experience and really feel better when we're done today, because that's what I want. I want you to feel better. I want you to start tapping into those qualities that I said, creativity and imagination, so that you can create something new avenues of income, new avenues of relating to other people, new avenues of staying home and yet being productive and successful. Because that's all about, right? Good. I hope that made sense. So I know those of you who've been trained, you know what this, but for those of you who have not and hear this for the first time, I just want to briefly say that in order to do timeline therapy, I need to introduce a little concept, which is the concept of the unconscious mind. Now, we all have a rational, logical mind, which we call the conscious mind. And we all have also what some people call the unconscious mind, or the subconscious mind, or the other mind, or some people call it the intelligence of the body. Oh, don't tell me you don't have one, because you slept last night quite well when your conscious mind was asleep, right? So the intelligence of the body, which we call the unconscious mind, digested all your food, circulated your blood, your lymph, and kept you breathing the whole night. Thank you, unconscious mind. And so the intelligence of the body exists. Now, what's not immediately obvious is the fact that the unconscious mind is the one that experiences the negative emotions. Yes, we may be aware of the negative emotions that we are experiencing in the moment consciously or not. There are people who are so dissociated, they don't even know what they're feeling. That's not very good, by the way. But that's another story for another time. Oh, I wanted to say, if you really like this kind of live events, give me a shout out, give me a comment, and write me what would you like, what are you interested in? What would you like me to help you with? What would you like me to talk about? Please put it in the comments, and I'm noticing, because I can come up with things to talk about, but probably it's more important that you come up with things that you are interested in, and then I can talk about things that are important to you. That's just as an aside. However, come back to unconscious mind. So the unconscious mind is the part of us that is in charge of our emotions. And we will employ the intelligence of the body or the unconscious mind in the process that we're going to do next. I hope this makes sense. Good. Let me drink a little bit of water here. My throat is dry. Good. Timeline therapy is a process of active imagination. If I ask you now, imagine a rose, could you do that? Let me see in the comments. Of course you could. Of course you could imagine a rose. You can close your eyes and imagine a rose. Of course you could. Everybody can. If I ask you to imagine a mountain, could you do that? Come on, guys, let me know. Could you do that? Yep. Yeah, so do it now. Imagine a mountain. Close your eyes and imagine a mountain. Do it right now. Good. Good. Perfect. Yeah, good. Now, if I ask you to imagine you are in a tall building and you're looking down the window down and you see the cars on the street and the people on the street beneath you. Could you do that? Do that now, please. Good. It's not hard. You can imagine that. Perfect. Good. Just like that, I'm going to ask you in a moment, not now, to imagine your timeline. Just like that. Exactly as you imagined the rose, the mountain, and the cars on the street, as you look from a very, very tall building down and you look and you see them small over there. Just like that, I'm going to ask you to imagine your timeline. So therefore, now we're going to begin the process. So for those of you who are ready to do it, this is the beginning, okay? This is exactly the beginning. And since I am new at this program, I think I need to buy the Pro version. I can put my slides and overlay them on the screen, but I have printed out some notes to show you for those of you who are new. For those of you who know already, you know where your timeline is. But for those of you who are new, your memories from the past going into the future are organized in a linear fashion. You know what happened yesterday, and you know that 3 days ago was before that, and you know that 1 week ago was before that, and you know that 1 year ago was before that, and so on and so forth. And you know that tomorrow will be after today. So there is some sort of a line, some sort of a linear fashion in which we all organize our memories at the unconscious level. And again, for those of you who have not done this before, we need to find out, using active imagination, we need to find out what's the relationship between this and your body. How does your unconscious mind organize linearly those memories in relation to your body? So, for those of you who have not done this before, here is the question for you. Stop writing now if you want to do the process. And here is the question for you. If I was to ask your unconscious mind, not your conscious mind, where is your past and where is your future? I have an idea that you might say, here is a diagram for you. Yeah? You might say, well, it's right to left or front to back or in some direction in relation to my body. Now, I'm not interested in what you think of it consciously. I'm not interested in any of that. I'm interested in your unconscious response. So when I will ask you the next question, I want you to answer me immediately how you, just like this, how you feel. I'm going to ask you to choose one very quickly without thinking. And for those of you high thinkers out there, I'm going to ask you not to think. Oh my God, I don't want to not think. Yes, I'm going to ask you not to think. Okay? So there are several possibilities for our timelines. It could be this way, even could be this way. Yeah? It could be any possibility. So here is the question I want to ask you to answer very quickly. Yeah? If I was to ask your unconscious mind, where is your past? Which direction would you point? Point now. Don't think. Just pick one. Quickly. If I was to ask your unconscious mind, where is your past? Which direction would you point? Now give me a feedback. Did everybody pointed in a direction? Good, good, good. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Okay, good. I can see. Perfect. Is anybody who doesn't know? You're doing great. Look at that. Everybody found it. Good. Oh, that's fabulous. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, could be down. Yeah, could be down. That's fine. By the way, there is no right or wrong. It's an active imagination. It's not real. It's in your mind. It's real to you and to your unconscious mind. Good, good. Is anybody who does not know? Good. Behind, people say left to right. Could be straight and okay. I'm reading the comments here. Left, behind. Good, good. Okay. Left, back to front. Okay. Those are how you're being trained, Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Left, right. Okay. Fabulous. Good. Good, 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 good. Now, here is the next question then. If that's the past, the future, what direction would you point if I asked your unconscious mind to show you what is your future? Point very quickly again, don't think. Point very quickly. Back left. Stephen said, good. Left to right. Mark, good. Susan says right, good. Jack says right, perfect. Right. Okay. Left forward, in front, opposite side, good. In front of me. Good, good, very good. Wonderful. Good job, everybody. Straight ahead of me, right. Good. Genevieve said, okay. Good. I can't even read that fast as the comments appear, but I gather that you all have gotten it. Excellent. Directly in front, some people say, forward, right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, the next step, if everybody got it, let me know if there is anybody who hasn't. I don't think so, because I think you guys are doing really, really, really good. I don't see any comments which good above, perfect, good. Yeah, that's possible, sure, absolutely. Northeast, okay. If that makes sense to you, I'm not sure. Okay, that's good actually. I can imagine that, sure. You can imagine that. Yeah. Good. So now, stay with me here, okay? Just stay with me. Stay with me with this one. Because what I wanted to do next is to bring to mind the two directions, which you said your past and the future is. And so the directions you pointed to and you gave me the feedback from. And I want you to notice, if you haven't already, that the two directions imply a line. You can notice that easily, right? It's just, a process of imagination. Oops, I just missed that comment, and I can see only, because I can see only one comment on the screen. Somebody said something, I'm feeling, I don't know what. I couldn't read it. It was a longer comment. I missed it. The program scrolls through the comments and very quickly, and I missed that one. Um, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I said I apologize from the beginning. I'm not really familiar with this program. I'm using it for the first time. It seems to be a really good program, but I'm just not used to it. Okay. I hope that I am feeling a shift. Okay. This is so small. I need to put my glasses on. I'm starting to feel like the future is all around me and the past is decomposed. Oh, wow. I hope only the negative emotions from the past you're talking about, right, Sandra? Yeah, your unconscious mind may have started to do the process already, which is possible, yes. But yeah. That's also possible in terms, the future is around you. Yeah, that's possible. I got it. Thank you for reposting, helping me out here. I really appreciate. I feel a little embarrassed for being a dummy in terms of this program. I don't like to do this normally, so forgive me for my not knowing exactly what I'm doing. But let's stay focused on this, because I want you to bring to mind the directions that you have pointed out, one moment ago, pointed to a moment ago, and notice that they imply a line. And I hope you have noticed that. And what we're going to do in a moment, for those of you who are new again, we are going to learn a little bit how to do timeline therapy without doing timeline therapy. In fact, we're not going to let go of anything. We're going to do just a little simple process in which you will learn the behavior necessary to make timeline therapy successful. I'll let you know when we do timeline therapy. This is all set up, okay? We're still in the setup. But since you notice that line, I want you to, first of all, realize that you can imagine, again, using your active imagination. However you do that, it's good. Imagine yourself floating up in the air, way up in the air, yeah, above that timeline. So close your eyes and imagine yourself floating up, all the way up in the air, above that line. And as you do this, I want you not to see yourself, don't see yourself floating above the timeline. That's not what I asked you to do. I want you to imagine yourself floating above that timeline. If you don't like to float, then drop the timeline down. Way down. But what I want you to do, all of you who don't have a problem with heights, imagine floating way, 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 way up in the air above that timeline. Okay? So far, so good? Perfect. And now, as you float above the timeline, remaining floating above the timeline, I want you to imagine you're floating back into the past. Go as far back as you want. Remaining floating above the timeline. I cannot stress this enough. Follow my instructions. Remaining floating above the timeline, float back into the past. All right? As far back as you want to go. Good, I assume you're all there now. Now, what I want you to do, remaining safely above the timeline, way up there, yeah, above the timeline, I want you to turn around and face toward the future and float back toward now. Just and stop above now. Don't come down into now, still above the timeline, still floating up there. But float all the way above now until you're above now. And I assume you're there because it's all in your mind. You can do this very fast. Good job, everybody. Now I want you to float toward the future. Somebody says, Eric says, can the timeline be curved? Or yes, yes. But you can stretch it out into a line for the purpose of this process. Sure, it can be curved, yes. So for those of you who are doing the process, float out in the future. How far do you want to go? Yeah? Good. And then come back above now. Until you are just above now. Now, here is an interesting thing I'm going to ask you to do. Remaining facing the future. So, remaining facing the future. Do only what I'm asking you to do, folks. That's really nice if you do something else, but do what I'm asking you to do so we stay all together. I promise we'll talk at the end. So, facing the future, I want you to float up higher and further back in the past. I'm going to say this again. Facing the future, so you're floating backwards like this, going higher up and further back into the past. Okay? Good. Now, float even higher. In fact, float so high up that your timeline seems like an inch long. And if you do this in metrics, then it's 2.3 centimeters or something like that. So a tiny, bitty timeline. That's how high up in the air I want you to float. Good. Perfect. Well done. Good. Now I want you to imagine you float back to now, just above now, and then safely, kindly, easily float back right down into now, in your body, fully in your body, and come back in the room. And you can open your eyes. Yes, Alison, you're right. Trust your unconscious mind. It knows the direction. That's why I wanted to do this process of discovering the timeline very quickly. Because sure, I can think here and go, oh, I wonder if it would be to the right. I think my mother said it would be. We always said the past is behind us, but it doesn't feel quite right. No, that's the conscious mind talk. That's what you're not supposed to do, yeah? I'm just answering one of the comments. So I wanted to just go like this. Yes, quickly, in whatever direction. And you're going to say, I'm making it up. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. It's an active imagination. Do not poo poo it, though. Many techniques in psychology rely on active imagination. Think Jungian therapy. Yeah, so good. I assume everybody is back in your body. Give me a thumbs up or a heart or whatever little symbol you find there so I know that you're all back and we can play. By the way, we didn't do any timeline therapy yet. We're going to do it next. Back to now and in the present. Good. Perfect. Thank you. Yep. Wonderful journey. Well, wait, we just started. It is a journey, isn't it? Isn't it fun to be up there and just observe your timeline? It's really cool. Okay, I get yes, I get thumbs up, I get hearts, I get good, good. So that means you guys are back. For you, nice to see you. Maria, nice to see you. Good, good. Maria, good. Shinatsu, good. Back, everybody seems to be back. Come on, let me know if you're back. I need to know you're back. Good. Because I don't want to proceed unless everybody's back. We can't let you float up there. I mean, it's fun, but you'll miss the rest of it. Good, 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 good. It seems like everybody's back. Perfect. Alana, hi. Lisa, hi. I didn't say hi to you. Good. Simon, Alina, Nim, good to see you, Nim. Rosemary, good to see you too. Okay, I'm back, says Anna. Good. Perfect. Okay, you guys are back. Good. Back. Want to go back to the future, which is really a good idea. I'm going to teach you how to do that. We're going to use this. We're going to use this in the processes we're going to do next. I'm going to teach you how to do that purposefully. Yeah, not only just floating above the timeline. I'm going to teach you how to do this purposefully, which is very cool. Very, very cool. All right, good. So everybody seems to be back. Everybody who's doing the process. Good. So now you discovered where your timeline is, for those of you who are new. For those of you who've done this for a while, you knew your timeline, which is fine. It's still there. Jeff says, I'm back. Good. Good. So now we're going to proceed with the next step. And we're going to discover, I was thinking what to do today as a group process. And I think the most useful for all of us, Ilyana, good, you're back. Good, hi. The most useful for all of you guys that participate is to let go of one major negative emotion that I mentioned before, which is fear, because that prevents you from finding other solutions. And especially fear of what's going on right now with this health crisis and with the situation in the world, what's going to happen afterwards, and so on and so forth. Fear of not knowing how to proceed. So this is, we're going to stay in this context only. Again, if you choose to do something else, you're on your own. I'm not guiding you to something else today. Sure, there are other processes in timeline therapy, and we can let go of anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, frustration, irritation, resentment, you name it, all the negative emotions. But today, we are going to stay on this context. fear of, I'm going to repeat it, please pay attention, everybody. Fear of what's going to happen to you, your finances, your economic situation, your career, your future, as a result of this situation, health crisis that we're in today in the world. Stay narrowed down only to this one. I hope I have agreement. Don't blame me if you do something else. You're on your own. Just know this. I'm going to help you with this one too. We can do some other stuff in the future if you so choose. I'm happy to. But again, you need to let me know what you want, what you need from me. And I'll be there with bells and whistles. So it depends on your requests and all your comments and what you want me to do. But today, again, we stay on this one. Good. Therefore, I need to teach you, newbies, how to discover what's the first event for a negative emotion. Because as you think of it, any negative emotion that you have ever experienced started somewhere. There was a time before which you didn't have that negative emotion. And you may say, nah, I had frustration all my life. But before you were born, you didn't, did you? Or when you were in your mother's womb, you didn't, did you? And how did you know you had frustration when you were 3 months old? No. There was always a time before which you did not have that negative emotion. Before you knew about this health crisis, you didn't have any fear about it, any worry. You didn't have it. So don't tell me that you always had it, because you didn't. Therefore, in timeline therapy, we always work with what we call the root cause. The first time when you experienced that negative emotion. We don't work with isolated incidents on the way. We go to the basic first time. Now, you may see me pointing in that direction for the past, and pointing in that direction for the future. It's just because I need to somehow imagine a timeline here so we're all on the same page. So assuming that this would be a timeline with the past over here and future in that direction, in the past, we need to find out, and I'm going to show you how to go to the first time when you experience that event, which we call the root cause. And there are some possibilities here, even if it doesn't seem obvious. But the question to figure out what's the root event, the root cause, the very first time you felt this fear about the health situation, about the lockdowns, about being confined in your house, about about the situation itself, about what's going to happen in the future, about everything related to this. The first time is only one. And the question is, again, I'm going to ask your unconscious mind. See, we work a lot with the unconscious mind here. Listen carefully. If I was to ask your unconscious mind, what is the root cause, the very first event, which, when disconnected, will allow this whole fear to disappear as an issue out of your life, out of your memories, out of your life completely? Would it be before, during, or after your birth? All I'm asking you to do is to pick one. Don't think, pick one. I'm giving you 3 choices, before, during, or after. I'm going to repeat the question. If I was to ask your unconscious mind what was the root cause of this fear that we're going to let go of immediately, so that it disappears an issue out of your life, was it before, during, or after your birth? Pick one so I'm just asking you to pick one, quickly as you can, trusting your dear, sweet unconscious mind. Good. If you said before, I have for those of you who said before, pay attention. Only for those of you who said before, was it in the womb or before? Good. For those of you who said before the womb, only for those of you who said before the womb, I got a bifurcation, two choices here. Was it past life or passed on to you genealogically? Notice I'm not saying genetically, I'm saying genealogically. Now, maybe you believe in past lives or not. If you don't, hey, it's not past life for you. But some people do believe, so we're going to account for that. Okay, good. Good. No, it could be both, but we want to ask your unconscious mind to pick the one that's most important, that will give you the most tremendous change right now. So pick one of the two. Yes, it could be both. But pick the one that's the most important, that will have the most pervasive and lasting change for you now. Good. Some people got genealogic, some people got past life. Good, good, good. Perfect. Now, only for those of you who had past life, give me a number. How many past lives ago? First number that comes to mind. Trusting your unconscious mind. Quickly, quickly, quickly. First number. This is only for you that have said past lives. How many past lives ago? Quickly, a number. Go. Good. Good. You guys have numbers. Perfect. Good. Good. It doesn't matter whether it's 3, 5, 500. It doesn't matter. Trusting your unconscious mind, please. It's all a metaphor at the unconscious level. It doesn't mean it's not real to you. Good. Now, for those of you who said genealogical, give me a number. How many generations ago? So only for those of you who said genealogical, say how many generations ago. Again, first number that comes to mind. Very first number that comes to mind. Good, I get numbers from you. Good, good, good. Nikki says 8. Elisa says 4 generations ago. Good. Christy says 400 and something. It changed very quickly. Good, good. I missed that question. It moved very quickly. Which ones we recorded? I didn't catch it. Bruce says 6 generations. Good. Pamela says 2. Good. Patrick says 7. Jeff says 100 generations. Yep. Well, you've been around. It's been around in your genealogy, which is very possible, by the way. Yeah. Good. Christina says 3 and 4. 3 and 4 what? 3 past lives and 4 generations. So if it's the case, then work with 4, the one that's oldest. Well, you'll work with that one, okay? Carolyn says 2. Good. Loretta says 4. Good. Zara says was in what? I'm not sure I understand the question. What is what? So one option was past lives. And the other option was genealogical, yeah? Now, for those of you who said after birth, or no, for those of you who said in the womb first, let's do this first. Again, I want a number. It's just between 0 and 10. Which month were you? Don't tell me that little baby in the womb doesn't experience negative emotions because it's connected with the mother's body. So if you, for those of you who said in the womb, make sure you know which month were you. Belinda says 6 generations. Good, Belinda. Good. So for those of you who said in the womb, make sure you know exactly what month in the womb. 12 past lives and 4 generations work with 12 past lives, okay? 4th month, good. Fairy says 4th month, good. Lord, okay, Melissa, definitely felt negative emotions in the womb. Sure, babies feel negative emotions in the womb, for sure. Good. I see numbers, 3rd month, good. Very good. 1st month, good. Right at the beginning, huh? Yeah. Very possible, totally. Good. Now, while you guys figure out that, and make sure you have a clear number. We need to work with a clear number. It doesn't work if it's wishy-washy. We need a clear number. And I'm asking you, yes, to trust your unconscious mind. Yes, it's a process of active imagination. Yes, we're all imagining this. But for those of you who said after birth and not in the womb, what age were you? Again, trusting your unconscious mind, give me the age. Okay? What age were you? Guys, stay with me. Stay with me doing the process. Okay? So what age were you? 3, 1. Okay? Yeah, it's possible because it's fear. After birth, 3 years old. Good. Yep. Clear what? 2 years. Cesaro says 1. Kelly says 4. 11, 12. Pick 11. Olga says 1. Gary says 7. Good. Pinky says 32. Good. Miguel says 3. Good. Jared says 2. Mario says you, which means what? David, you said 4 or 5. Work with 4. Work with the first one first. Mark says 13. Good. Alejandro says 20. Good. Very good. Susan says 4. Alicia says womb 7 months. Perfect. Well done. Very, very good. Kelly says 5. Good. Well done. Very well done. Good. Good. So I assume by now that everybody who's doing the process has a first event with a clear number and a clear idea whether it is a past life or genealogical, how many generations, or what month in the womb, or if it's after birth, you have a clear age. And if you got 2, by the way, as I've seen several examples, work with the lower one. So if it's 9, 10, work with 9, okay? Good. And now we're going to do the timeline therapy process itself, and I need to show you a diagram for that. Next time, I promise I will have the next edition of the program, and I can simply put the slides on the screen, but this is not the pro version, and I can't do that. I can't do overlays. I don't have it. So here is a diagram, in which I'm going to show you here. Okay? So let's assume that this is a timeline. Yeah. And here is the past. Here is the moment in now where we find ourselves. And this is the future. What we're going to do in a moment, I'm going to guide you through the process. We're going to float above the timeline like this, above now. And then we're going to use these positions, position 1, 2, and 3. So first we're going to go to position number 1. And while you're in position number 1, you notice that you are facing the past. You're looking toward the past. You see the arrow points in that direction? So you're looking toward the past. And position number 1, it's simple, it's easy, it's just a marker. From position number 1, you will see the event, the root cause event in the timeline. It's going to be in front of you as you look down, but you're looking toward the past. Now, after that, I'm going to guide you, and we're going to go to position number 2, which is right above the event. You're looking down on the event from floating way, way, way up there on the above the timeline, really far up above the timeline, yeah? And then we're going to move to position number 3. In position number 2, we are going to ask the unconscious mind to give us some learnings, something that we need to learn in order for the emotion to disappear. I'm going to talk about this in a moment after I show you the positions. Then we're going to go to position number 3. And position number 3, notice that we turned around and now we look toward the future. See the arrow points the other way? Now, position number 3 is before the event happened. How far? Really, really way back in the past. Not close to the event. I can't make a paper this long. But if I could, I would show that position number 3 is really way, way, way back in the past before the event has happened and way up in the air. Yeah? That's position number 3. And in position number 3, we're going to let the fear go. Here is where that shift will happen. But I'm going to have to talk about learnings first. Yeah? So here is where the fear will disappear. And only after we check and verify and test that the fear is gone, we are going to go down in position number 4. Imagine going down in your body at the time and verify that the fear has disappeared. Okay? And after that, we're going to float back up in position number 3 and come back all the way back to now. So these are the 3 positions. I don't know how shall I hold them here? I can't hold them here. Make a note of those. I can't hold the paper while I'm doing the process with you, but these are the 3 positions. Draw them quickly because it's very easy. Just draw a line. Position number 1, facing toward the past. Position number 2, right above the event. Position number 3, you're turning around and look toward the future. And position number 4, right down in the event, okay? It's actually very easy. Good. While we do this process, please remember if you are seeing yourself floating above the timeline, you're doing it wrongly. That's not what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you exactly as we did when we did the test before, and you said it was cool. I'm just gonna ask you to float above the timeline, looking through your own eyes. So you're looking through your own eyes, and as you are floating way up there above the timeline. That's how to do it. Yeah, I wanted to mention that because that will ensure your success. Joy says flip paper over. What do you mean flip paper over? Flip paper over? Like this? What do you mean, Joy? I have no idea what you mean. I really have no idea what you mean. But it's easy. Everybody can make a note of this diagram. It's really easy. This is not a complicated thing, folks. Yeah. Yeah, and really, I'll walk you through it. No problem. Don't worry about anything. Good, ready, everybody? Everybody, come on, let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, it's showing in reverse. My image is reversed. Really? Oh, that's funny. And nobody told me so far. Am I inside out or what do you mean? In reverse. Oh, that's That's hilarious. Okay, how's that? Is it showing well now? What is it? Is it showing well now? Help me out here, folks, please. I feel embarrassed. Yes, yay! See? Thanks for letting me know. You program you, I'll have to learn you. You'll have to teach me how you work. Okay, fine. You should have told me that I'm in reverse. I have to sit down and think, what does it mean I'm in reverse? Inside out? Upside down? Backwards? Anyway, good. Thanks for telling me, by the way, folks. Okay, so for those of you who are ready, let's do it. It's not going to take us longer than about 10 minutes. Yeah? It's not going to take us longer than about 10 minutes, which is fine. So, ready, everybody? Good. So, what I want you to do, now that you have the root cause event, what I want you to do is to imagine you float above your timeline. Let's go. Let's go. Imagine you float above the timeline. Show paper again. Okay, sure. I'll show you the paper again. There you go. How's that? Is that better? Good. Let's imagine floating above the timeline. And floating above the timeline all the way over the past to position number 1. Facing the past. And it's easy because position number 1 is just a marker. It makes it easy to find the event. It makes it easy to find the event. So in position number 1, once you're there, what I want you to do is float to position number 2, directly up above the event. Now you're just above the event, floating safely up, up, up in the air, remaining safely up there in the air. Yeah? So you're looking down on the event. Okay? Good. And in position number 2, right there, above the event, I want you to ask your unconscious mind what it needs to learn from this event. The learning of which will allow you to easily and effortlessly let go of the emotion of fear. Now, again, for those of you who are newbies, the learnings will pop up very quickly. Your unconscious mind will tell you this and that, and whatever answer you get, I want you to, if it's a negative answer, like they were at fault, what they did to me, I want you to turn it around in such a way that is something that puts you in control. Something that's not negative, something that's not from the past, and something that serves you. Yes, yes, this is for you alone. You can be selfish. Yes, this is for you alone. So I want you to ask your unconscious mind to give you some learnings that you can take with you from now on in the future, that will serve you as resources, that would allow you to think freely outside of the box and unleash your real creativity and imagination into what can you do wonderfully for you in the future. So please get those learnings. And again, those learnings should be positive for yourself and for your future. How's it going? I think it's going well. I hope it's going well. Now, for those of you who have gotten the learnings, what I want you to do now is to float to position number 3. The learnings should be rather fast, by the way. Your unconscious mind works really fast, really fast. So float to position number 3. So you're still up in the air, floating above the timeline. However, you are before the event. And you're looking toward now. You turned around, make sure you're looking toward now. But the event is now way up there, down there actually, in the timeline in front of you. Because position number 3 is before the event has happened. Now make sure you are high enough and far enough back so the negative emotions can disappear. The negative emotions that you have there, the fear disappears. Right now. Good. Good, very good. Now for those of you, now listen carefully because I have separate instructions here. For those of you for whom the negative emotion of fear has disappeared, now is your time to test. For those of you who have, for the negative emotion didn't disappear, wait for my instructions. But for those of you for whom the negative emotion of fear has disappeared, now is your time to test. I want you to float down in the event, in your body at the time, and test, but only for the emotion of fear. And make sure it's gone. Now for the rest of you, for whom the negative emotion of fear did not disappear yet, I want you first to float further back in the past and higher up in the air. In fact, I want you to float so far back and so high up in the air that the negative emotion disappears. Yeah, right now. Right now. Good. Again, for those of you for whom the negative emotion of fear has disappeared, it's your time to test. Only for those of you for whom the negative emotion did not disappear yet, wait for my instructions. But for those of you for whom the negative emotion has disappeared, please go test, meaning float down in position number 4 in your body at the time and make sure the negative emotion has disappeared. And after that, come back in position number 3, wait for my instructions. For those of you for whom the negative emotion did not disappear, listen carefully. Maybe you are not before the first event. Ask your unconscious mind if there is an event before this one. Ask your unconscious mind if there is an event before this one, and ask your unconscious mind to transport you instantaneously before the very, very, very first event, remaining way up in the air and going before, way before the very first event. Because when you're there, the negative emotion is going to disappear. That's right. It disappeared, didn't it? Could eliminate them easily. You may feel shifts happening in the body. Yes. You may have a different feeling, kinesthetic. Yes. So for those of you for whom the negative emotion of fear has disappeared, again, the instruction is now is your time to test, meaning only if the negative emotion has disappeared, folks. Only for those of you. Float in position number 4 in the timeline and make sure that the negative emotion of fear is not there. Now, if there are other negative emotions, we're not working on other negative emotions. I'm asking you to test only for the negative emotion of fear. And if the negative emotion is gone, fine. Float back to position number 3, wait for my instructions. If the negative emotion is not gone and you find more fear in position number 4, float back to position number 3, wait for my instructions. For those of you for whom the negative emotions still didn't disappear, which I don't think it's much the case. However, okay, somebody put a message here. My fear stemmed. Okay. Good. So Kelly shared the learnings. We're going to talk about the learnings when we're done with the process. So for those of you for whom the negative emotion of fear did not disappear yet, I want you to listen carefully. You may think that fear keeps you safe. I think you are, with all due respect, mistaken. Absolutely mistaken. Fear has never kept you safe. It's not fear that keeps you safe. It's the flight or fight response that keeps you safe. In fact, if you choose flight, as in fight or fight response, if you choose flight, then immediately after that, you will experience fear. Fear is a secondary emotion. And if I can quote Will Smith in the movie Afterlife, he said, fear is not real. Danger is, but fear is not real. So holding on to the emotion of fear, and I'm talking now directly to your unconscious mind, holding on to the emotion of fear harms the body. It creates a lot of problems with your adrenals, with your cortisol, with your endocrine system. It taxes the body, and it creates a lot of undue stress, which actually harms the body. Your unconscious mind knows that its most important function, this is the intelligence of your body. The most important function is to preserve the body. By not letting go of fear, your unconscious mind harms the body. Right? So when harming the body, your unconscious mind acts against itself. So I want to point out to your unconscious mind that letting go of fear will serve the body much better, and preserving the learnings will allow you to work positively, find more solutions, innovate, create, imagine, pivot, bring about things to handle the health crisis and the situation in the world. So then, would it be okay now for everybody to let go of the fear. Then go ahead and let go of the fear. Go ahead and let go of the fear. Now, if everybody has let go of the fear, for those of you who just let go of the fear, it's your time to test. The process is not complete yet. I want you to go in position number 4, float down in position number 4 in your body at the time. Float down in position number 4 in your body at the time. Make sure the fear is gone. It will take you just a few seconds. Just imagine floating right down position number 4. For those of you who are done, float all the way back up in position number 3 and then float all the way back to now. All the way back to now. All the way back to now. And when you're above now, float all the way down in your body and come all the way back down in the room. Yes, Andy, you're right. I see the comment. So, good. I'm waiting for everybody to give me a yes or some sort of a symbol, whatever you want to know that. Give me a thumbs up to know that you're successful. You're good. That's how I know that you are back in now and you're successful. I need some feedback from you. Good. I started. Good, good, gone. Yes. Sue says yes. Pamela Dawn. Sally says yes. Thumbs up. Stephen, good. Good job, Los. Yeah. Michelle, good. Mia, good. Dawn, good. Yes. 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 Good. Good. Feel fantastic. Good. Good. Genevieve says success. Adam says success. Good. Good. Very good. Good. Alyssa, I'm back in now and fear is gone. Perfect. Good job. Yay. Perfect. Maria goes amazing. Jeff says yes. Mark says yes. Good. Good. All good. But we're not done, by the way. Stay with me. We have one more little thing to do. I have one more little thing to do. Feel great. I love your comments. They're good. Good. You guys are successful. You're doing fabulous. You're doing so well. I'm so proud of you all. I'm so proud of you all. Look at that. This is so cool. Congratulations, everybody. Good. Good. So I assume at this point that pretty much everybody is back to now. Now let's test. Now, listen carefully. Yes, Gina, it's possible. You were crying. That's okay. That's all right. The important part is that we worked on fear alone, only fear, and the fear is gone. Good. So now everybody, please, let's test and make sure. In timeline therapy, I don't want to convince you that your fear is gone. It's not my job to do so. In fact, I don't want to. This is not, I'm going to try to trick you. I'm going to try to force you to tell me this way. I'm going to try to work around. No. It's either gone or it's not gone. We are very digital and practical in timeline therapy. So you will test and figure out whether it's gone. Therefore, here is what you need to do. I want you to remember an event in the past. It could be, recent past or whatever, where you used to be able to feel fear. This fear that we're working on, yeah? This particular one. Remember the context. We narrow down the context, yeah? And go back to that event where you used to feel this fear. And notice if you can feel it, or you may find that you cannot. Okay, Holly says fear is gone. Good. Good job. Very good. Just make sure the fear is gone. After that, flow back to now. Come back and give me feedback. Good. Tammy says, Patrick, cannot what? Cannot float back? It's the same process of imagination. You imagine an event where you cannot find the fear. Yeah. Good. Good. Ah, that's cool. Yeah, I get it. Sorry, I got confused for a second. Beautiful. Good here. Julian says, good here. Perfect. Wendy says, gone. Julian, how are you? Belinda, completely gone. Meredith, gone. Lupit's gone. Thanapa, gone. Gina, gone. Good job, Gina. Anna Maria, fear is gone. Good. Barbara, no fear. Olga, gone. Victoria, fear is gone. Good. Oh, you're fabulous. You all are fabulous. I love you so much. This is so wonderful. Yeah. I love it. Calmness, Caroline. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? So important to follow directions. Yeah, Patrick, I know. The process works if you do it correctly. It's yeah. Anyway, nothing. Good. Big smile. Excellent. 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 Good job. Gone. Thank you. You're very welcome. Good. One more thing. Now, let's imagine an unspecified time in the future. Now, let's start talking about the future because that's where we want to go, how to create the future that we want, right? So now, all of you, imagine an unspecified time, doesn't matter, in the future, which, if it would have happened in the past, you would have had unwarranted fear. Yeah? Inappropriate fear. But because of the process we just did, and because of the learnings that you have incorporated, notice that if you can find that old emotion or you cannot. Just do this for me, please. Yeah, forgiveness can be a good learning. Yes, Mel, yes. Absolutely. No, you are the best because you are doing it. I'm just a tour guide. I'm just a tour guide. But thank you. Safe. Yeah. Depending what learnings do you have, yes. Yep. Mark, move. Mark says move. Good. By the way, Mark, what you said is very important. Very important. Because one of the greatest enemies that we all have is called inaction. That's why it's very important to take action at this point. Now, what kind of action? That's based on what we talked about before, creativity and imagination and finding solutions outside the box, being innovative, being agile, switching midstream, doing something new that maybe you didn't think before. Yeah. Look, humility, I learned to protect myself. All of those are wonderful learnings, safe and happy. Yeah, we all have the resources we need to succeed, Alejandro says. Yes. Find a different way. Yes. Najda, yes, absolutely. Yes, all of those are fabulous learnings. And what you guys are doing right now, by the way, this is an example of shared intelligence. Yeah, that I have control over my response, Liz says, and fear isn't real. I can change my perspective, change my outcome. But not only that, yes, Liz, yes, this is utterly important. But when you're out of fear, you can think differently. That's my point. That's what I drive home today. And I know I beat this old horse, so many times, but let me beat it again. That's the only way we can think differently. We can get outside of that box in which we're caught in when we have the negative emotions. You get it? Some people say, Christina says, just feel love. I need to use my strengths. Yes. And you will, won't you? Because you will be free to do so in a very positive and win-win way to help yourself and help others. Objectivity, Kathy says, as a learning. Yes. You see? All my needs and beyond are always met. Yes. Lisa feels empowered. Carrie Fritz says, resilience is strength. Can fear something you have no control over. Yeah, well, that's silly, isn't it? Well done. That's a good one. Michelle says there is no square or box anymore. Well, the square we all create around us. Good. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Good. Um, how you guys doing? Are you doing good? Everybody's good as far as I can see. Um, here is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I would like to also do with you a simple process of putting a goal in your future timeline, a goal that I will guide you how to do it, but which has to do with your certainty in the future, something that you want for yourself in terms of your career or your safety, in terms of your finances, in terms of your safety and protection, or anything that you want to do. And this will take us probably another half an hour. But in order to do that, I will have to take a little break of about 2-3 minutes. It's going to be very short. So I'm not going to stop the connection. I'm going to let it run. But that's your time to visit that place where nature calls. So I'm going to rush quickly there, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right? See you in 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. So I assume some other people took a little break with me. And I'm going to go get some more water, actually. Give me another moment because my glass is empty. All right. Got the glass, got the water. All good. So, good. How did this one go in general? Support is important, Masha, of course. We have the ability to control how things affect us. Yes, Liz. See, that's what most people don't know. See, it's not a good position to be in if you're thinking of yourself as a victim and just trying to crawl into a hole and go, look what they are doing to us. How much use is that? How much input do you have in society? How much input do you have to change something in your life, in your family, in your loved ones? How much support can you be when you think there's nothing you can do? you're not empowered. And so you guys are so right. I see your comments here. Kathy said, can we do it alone when we discover a negative emotion in us? Well, you can, this will be recorded. It's going to be online. You can follow the process with me again. It's, here is the thing. Timeline therapy is different for every negative emotion. And so you may have succeeded today, but sometimes you work on other stuff. I'm not saying you won't succeed. You may well be very successful every time. But sometimes if you hit the big one or a big issue, you may need, personal input or guidance for your personal situation, for your personal needs. So the answer is yes and no. I can't guarantee that if you do it alone, you'll always be successful. I can't say you won't be successful. So it's sometimes, even in some issues, when my thinking box is uh, is so strong that I can't think myself outside the box, I'm asking Ted to do timeline therapy with me to keep me on track because I'm a thinker and I think so fast sometimes I just go haywire. I go in my mind somewhere else. But most of the time I can do it on my own. But again, the difference is that I do this for 22 years and I can't even tell you how many timeline therapies, processes I've done. But I found it extremely useful and that's what I want to share with you and help you guys because it's really useful. There is no point. You can't function correctly when you are in the midst of fear or panic or negative emotions. You're too stressed. Kathy says I'm a thinker too. Yeah, I can relate. I absolutely can relate to this. Yeah. So is everybody back? Can we proceed? Because I would like to do this goal with you, and then we'll say goodbye for today. Faye says, how great to be reminded of the incredible NLP tools that we've trained in and to be in company of other. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you very much. Yeah, we all need a reminder. Sometimes I've had a comment that somebody says, sometimes we need a reminder that we're capable, that we have these resources. Yes, we all need a reminder. Sarah says, I'm back and ready. Hi, Sarah. Robert says, you can do it on Mystic Robert. Barbara says, I'm ready. Good. I get a thumbs up. I can relate. Good. Good, Verad. I'm very happy to hear it. Good to see you, Verad. Sarah, hi. Yeah. Good. So I would like to assume that everybody is back. So now let's set a goal. Let's set a goal in the future. Let's set a goal in the future so we have something to drive us, to motivate us, to move towards. And there are several conditions. Again, please follow my instructions because I'm sure all of you newbies have set goals in your future timeline before, so have set SMART goals. I mean, this is again not a new thing, but there are some conditions that are different in way we set goals in a future timeline and which make those goals happen, at least in a far easier way compared to just putting something in your future timeline. In fact, you can put anything you want in your future timeline. It's called future memories. Yeah. So, but the way I wanna guide you to do it has some particularities which, if you follow them correctly, it will make that goal far more achievable. So let's think of a common goal. I would like to propose a common goal which is broad enough and big enough so that you all can benefit out of it. Yeah. So think of it this way. What would be a goal for you? Like, let's say, at the end of this crisis that we're going through, at the end of this period, and meanwhile, you have found out new ways, new solutions, new ways outside the box in not only continuing successfully your career, developing new ways of bringing finances in, new ways of feeling safe and protected, and ending up on the other side using the wonderful tools of creativity and imagination, actually better than you've been before. What do you think about this proposal as a goal? Would it work for everybody? New ways, new solutions. Yes. New ways, new solutions. How is that for a goal? Good. Absolutely, Mark. Yet we are here. I don't know if you know, we have free support for all our graduates anyway. Just reach out. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to establish this connection with you so we can indeed support each other. You know, you all have skills that I don't have, but I have these skills and I know this stuff, and I'm offering it here. Yeah. Good. Good, good, good. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this goal together. Yeah. So first of all, the goal you're setting has to be simple enough. Imagine that you are, I'm fond of saying, your conscious mind sets the goal because you set the goal consciously. Logically, reasonably, you think of what you want, that's your conscious mind. But it's not immediately obvious that your unconscious mind is the goal getter. Now, it's a little complicated. I don't want to go there. I will have to talk for the next couple of hours to explain you why and how that works. Yeah, it's the reticular activating system. Is searching for similarities and so on and so forth. But that's a longer story. But your unconscious mind is the goal getter. So you need to tell your unconscious mind. The conscious mind has to tell the unconscious mind what do you want in a simple way, in a specific way, in a way which is measurable. Now, measurable means I'm feeling better is not measurable. It's not measurable. Because better, how much better? 1 ounce better? 1 quarter inch better? It's not measurable. So when you think of your goal, set it up in such a way that you have something measurable. Something measurable works much better than some fluffy idea of, more or better or something like this. So the goal has to be simple, and I'm going to give you a formula. It's going to be specific. It's going to be measurable, and it's going to be meaningful to you. Please do not set goals for other people. You can't, by the way, even if you want to. But I'm saying don't waste your time. You can't set goals for other people. If you wanna have your children set goals for themselves, teach them this process. I give you permission. You can teach them how to set goals. You can't teach them Thailand therapy if you're new and you don't know it because you don't know it. So, but this is a process. The setting goals you can show your kids how to do by themselves, and make sure they have good positive goals for themselves. Yeah. So it has to be meaningful to you. Set goals for yourself. And the next condition, it has to do with the time or timeliness or the notion of how do you formulate the goal so that it's in relation to time, it makes it happen, because the words we're using to represent the goal are meaningful. We know in NLP everything's about language, even if language is only 7% of our communication. So here is the formula. Write this down. Here is the formula. It is now, and draw a blank. It is now, and draw a blank line, which is the date by which you want the goal to happen. It is now, blank, and I have, and here you have other options, or I am, or I do. So and then you have three options. If you look up, you have three options. Either be, do, or have, depending on how you formulate your goal. And I am, let's say, safe, or whatever you want to say, or I have created new sources of income on the internet, digitally, or I do whatever it is that you want to do. Make sense? And then you draw a blank. That's the simple formula. So it is now blank, and I either be, do, or have blank. It's a very easy formula, easy to remember. And then you fill in those blanks. So first of all, think at the date by which you want your goal. Be realistic. Be realistic. This is not hocus pocus. This is not, okay, here's a piece of magic. No, it has to be realistic. Yeah? According to everything you know about yourself, be very, very realistic on how you do this. So time your goal. Goals which are not timed tend not to work so well compared to goals which are timed. So now fill in the formula and write down your goal. Yeah, it is now, even it's in the future. See, I can set a goal. It is now December 31st, 2020, and I have now successfully navigated the whole year, and I can say, what my measurable results were. Yeah. Please do not write the goal in future tense. If you write the goal, I will, the goal is not ever gonna happen, because it's always gonna be in your future. It's always gonna be in your future. So it is now, and then you put the future date, and you still use past tense. Yeah, it's not a mistake. I'm very careful with my language. I've been highly trained in linguistics, which is our middle name from neuro-linguistic programming. Yeah. So the verb tense is important, and it has to be in the past. It is now, your date, and I have, or I do, even, continuous tense is good, or I have done. Yeah. Fill in the goal. Make sure the goal is responsible, by the way, and ecologic. Make sure it's responsible. Make sure it doesn't harm others or the planet. In fact, not only that, I would encourage you not to set goals like that, but I would be extremely disappointed if you did. There are way too many people who have set goals and still have behaviors and goals on the planet that are not good for the planet or for the rest of humankind. So set goals that are responsible, ecologic, and make sure you're realistic. The fact that you want something doesn't mean it's realistic. So I wanted to encourage you to be very, very realistic. Okay? How are we doing? Give me a thumbs up if you're done with writing down your goal, because then we're going to go through the process of sticking it in our future timeline. And then we'll say goodbye for today. Okay? Mark says practice makes perfect. Focus on the first percenters. Okay, Mark? Give me a signal that you have written down your goal, please. I'm kind of blind here. I don't know where you are. And if I don't know, Helen gives me a thumbs up. Good, thank you. All right. Good. 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 Thank you, Sandra. Natasha is good. Helen is good. It is now. Yeah, that it disappeared very quickly, Heaven, but I think that's exactly, uh, you got it. Kamal, good. Good, perfect. Stephanie, Lisa, Dan, good, good, good. Thank you, all of you. What was that? I only drink a bottle of what? Come on, let's be serious here. It's funny, but okay, if that's your goal, who am I to say? Okay, good, good, good. Carolyn says yes. Liz, yes. Holly, yes. Mark, yes. Denise, yes. Victoria, yes. Hannah, yes. Thumbs up, good. Alejandro, mentally noted. Alejandro, it works better if you write down your goals. I noticed that especially goals for career and business, they work much better if you actually write them down. You can open a file on your notes on your phone, or your tablet, or whatever it is that you're using, because you can keep a record of your goals. Because 2-3 months from now, you won't remember what you did now, and you say, "But I will." And I'm telling you, that's overload. We are all overloaded with all sorts of stuff. That's why I encourage you to write your goals. Thanks for mentioning that. I'm not isolating you, by the way. I'm just giving you what works best, what I noticed in time that works best. Good. So since I got Laura says done, good. Since I got Kara says thumbs up, good. Juana says thumbs up, good. I will kind of wait until and vent a little bit until the comments with thumbs up and yes will Tanya, thank you, Tanya, will stop. That means that everybody is done, so we can you know go through the process all together. Maria says yes, good. Written down. Good. All right. Tanya Gordon says thumbs up, good. Helena, thumbs up, good. Or Aline, I'm sorry if I butcher your names. I apologize. Yeah. Good. It seems that we've got all thumbs up in butterflies. Very cute. I've gotten that so many times before. Thank you. Yes, Andrew, you're very welcome. I just utilize your comments, to share with everybody else, because we might have new people that don't know this. So that's why I'm using, your comments by means of sharing with everybody else, because you remind me of things. Good. Sandra, good. Hafshin, good. Lisa, can you use the word achieved? Yes. It's past tense. Yes. Yes. Good. It seems now the comments have stopped rolling, so I assume that all of you have set up your goal. Perfect. So let's do this, huh? Let's do this. Good. So the question I'm having for all of you, this is again a process in which you follow my instructions, please. So my question for you is, as you think of this goal that you just wrote down, what's the last thing that has to happen for you, not for somebody else, don't take responses for somebody else. What's the last thing that has to happen for you so you got your goal? What's the very last thing that has to happen? Make sure you all have a clear idea. What's the last thing? How would you know? How would you know that that goal of yours has happened? This is a very important step, by the way, which differentiates what we do in timeline therapy from other goal setting processes. This is one of the differences. Okay. Thank you, Kara. Appreciate it. So, what's the last thing that has to happen? And when you get the last thing, make sure you have a picture. You have a picture of that. Yeah. A picture of that last thing, whatever it may be for you. Make sure you have a picture of that. So ask your unconscious mind to create, to make that intent that we're using the wonderful faculty of your imagination to give you that picture of what's the last thing that has to happen so that you got that goal of yours. Okay? And now when I say a picture, I mean a picture as in having, a visual. You can close your eyes, of course, having a visual of it. But notice if you have any sounds. Maybe you talk to somebody. Maybe somebody says something to you. Maybe you talk to somebody and you tell them something in that picture, yeah? And also notice the positive feeling that you have. Notice that it feels a certain way to have that positive feeling of success in getting your goal, right? And make sure you don't see your body in the picture, but you're looking through your own eyes. You are in your body. Please, very important. For the moment, at this step in the process, I want you to make sure you do not see your body in the picture, but you are looking through your own eyes in that picture of the last step at this moment in the process. Good. And now here is what I want you to do. I want you to ask yourself, is the picture in color or is the picture black and white? If it's black and white, see what's happening if you turn on the color and make it in color. If it's in color, what's happening if you pump up the color and make it really nice and rich and beautiful, more powerful colors? Now, for some of you, you'll say, well, the picture looks nicer, it feels better. Some of you may say, well, it's not so good. Okay, I want you to put it and make it only as colorful as it's necessary for you to give me the most positive, possible positive feeling. You play with the color and you make it so colorful or pastel maybe, so that it gives you an unbelievably positive feeling about it. Now, if you have also a, notice that the picture has a certain brightness. Now I want you to increase that brightness. It's like you take the remote control and you pump up the brightness, yeah, when you watch a movie in the settings of the TV. Yeah. So pump up the brightness, not so far that it washes all out and no, but just bright enough to give you even more positive feeling about that picture. Okay? Good. Now, if the picture is in your if with your closed eyes, on your inner screen, the picture may be close to you or far away. I want you to bring the picture closer to you, in front of you. In fact, I want you to bring the picture so close that again it gives you an unbelievably positive feeling, and not any closer than that. I have to trust you that you're doing this. Good. Perfect. Okay. Good. Now, if the picture is tiny, see what's happening if you try to make it a little bigger. If it doesn't give you a good feeling, leave it where it was. So play with how big the picture it is and how close the picture is to you for the purpose of giving you the most positive feeling you can have about that. All right? Good. Perfect. And now, please, everybody, pay attention. We're going to do just, for those of you who are trained, just the major submodalities. So what I want you to do, I want you to step outside of your body. Leave your body in the picture. And make sure that you see your body in the picture. So step out of the picture and leave your body in the picture. So now you can see your body in that picture. Okay, I assume everybody has done that because it's easy. Now together what we're going to do, we're going to take the picture. Imagine you take it in your hands. Sometimes even if my my eyes are closed, my hands go like this, and I imagine taking the picture in my hands. And together we're going to float above the timeline. Go ahead and take the picture. And float above the timeline, right above now. Stay right there, right above now. Don't do anything else, stay with me. Okay, right above now. And while we're there, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a symbolic process of energizing the picture with 4 deep breaths. I'm going to show you how. Here's the sound you need to do. It's deeply in the lungs. And then from the throat, the sound. Now, we're not going to do just silly, this thing just for silly stuff. While we do this is a symbolic process where we are going to enliven the picture. We're going to make the picture come alive with our life force. Silvana, congratulations that you have, but stay with me. That means don't precede my instruction. Follow them, please. Good. So let's do this together. Above now, everybody's float device is above now, with the picture in their hands. And let's do this together. In through the nose, out through the mouth. First breath. Second breath. Third breath. And the last one. Again, this is a symbolic process, yeah? Good. Now, please float out in the future, at a time in the future, where you said it's going to happen. So it is now, whatever time it is for you, whatever time you set up in your goal, right above that moment, yeah? And when you're there, let go of the goal, let go from your hands. So the goal goes all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, and it hits your timeline. And notice that when your goal hits the timeline, there is something very interesting happening. All the events that were in the timeline from there to now reevaluate themselves to support the accomplishment of this goal. Notice that. Look at your timeline. Look how all the events, if you do it auditorily, do it auditorily. Hear the events. If you do it kinesthetically, do it kinesthetically. Feel how the timeline reorganizes itself and the events reevaluate themselves to support the accomplishment of your new goal. And when you're done and you notice that, please float back to now. Float down in the room, all the way in your body. And then go ahead and open your eyes, all the way fully awake and alert, all the way back in the room. How was that? Nobody's back. Everybody's still floating. All right, people are coming back. Good, 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 good. Really nice. Was good. Thumbs up. Good, guys. You're awesome. You're awesome. Good job. Perfect. I love it. Good job. Feels great. Colette! Oh my God, I haven't seen you in ages. Hi. Good. People are back. Good. Yes. Now that we set the goal, here is one thing. By the way, this again is not magic. This is not hocus pocus. This is not going to happen to you automatically. In fact, nothing happens to you. You make everything happen. I want to say this, and I say this so many times for those of you who've seen me in the trainings. You know that I repeat myself with this one like a broken record, but it's never enough. And I'm saying it as much for you as I'm saying it for me. Your goal won't happen if you don't do anything about it. Sitting on the couch and watching Netflix and getting more and more fear and scared out of your skull ain't gonna make it. I'm not saying don't be informed. What I'm saying is you need to take action. Start thinking. Okay, where are my problems now? Okay, how do I need to think of this? What do I need to do right now? How can I reinvent myself? How can I really innovate things? What can I do? Let me give you another example, for example, which was just unbelievable. There is an app, and I don't remember the name of that app. I just bumped the computer. Oops. I don't remember the name of that app. It's like My Neighborhood or My Neighbors or something like this. I never knew it existed. Again, this wonderful lady, which is love dearly, has talked to me about this yesterday, and all these neighbors, it gives you all the people that are signed up for that app in your neighborhood. So now people cannot meet physically, but they're meeting through this app. And it was this lady who had a special needs person. I'm not going to get into details in the house, and she ran out of what do you call this nappies. And she put this there, can anybody help me? In a matter of 1 hour after that, she already had on her lawn in front of her house 2 packages of nappies. There is somebody else who decided that they are going to move and be creative, do what they were doing physically before on the internet in a new fashion. I'm not going to, there's so many possibilities, folks. And be creative and use your wonderful mind. But my point I want to drive home, it won't happen to you. You'll have to take action, whatever you want to have happen, or that you want to have happen in the future, or you want to make happen in the future. You will make it happen. This is not the law of attraction. I'm sitting here meditating and it will come to me magically. Nothing comes to you magically. Verify with your life experience. So you still have to take action and do something about your goal. And so I'd like to say one more thing by means of ending, and then we're going to say goodbye for today. First of all, again, leave me comments, ask me, tell me what are you interested in. And if you are interested in something specifically, and if you like this one, I am happy to do more live sessions. That's what I do. That's what I do for my career. I share things with you. I love to teach you things. I love to see you all successful. That's what I do. That's what I do for 22 years. I inherited this from Ted, who's done this, 40 years. So that's why I do what I do. because I love helping you. I love helping you, but I need your feedback, and I need you to tell me, what do you want me to talk about? What do you want? What are you interested in? What are your needs? Because every single time we talk, it's more than just chatting. I mean, I can talk to you for ages, but tell me what you want from me, and then we'll do more of this specifically for what your needs are. Yeah. So I'd like, by means of ending, I would like to say, I truly, truly, truly appreciate the work of all our graduates and Timeline Therapy Institutes all around the world. Thank you guys for doing this great work and helping other people wherever you are in the world. I'm so grateful to you, because this amazing work really, are we gonna do what we say or not? And I'm telling you, from our point of view, from my point of view, in our company here, and at James Company, we are doing what we say, and we'll never stop. We'll never stop, no matter what. We are innovative. We are changing things, and so can you. So I want to thank all of you. I wanna say that from the bottom of my heart, I want to extend all my love to you. I know that it sounds already like a cliche, but I really want to tell you that I love you all. I want to wish you well, be well, stay well, and together let's make positive history, folks, and really, really transform the planet and make it so that at the other end, we say, yes, we really have contributed. My work and whatever I invented and whatever I created now is useful for me, for my family, for the community, and for the whole world. Love you much. Be well. And now I'm going to stop talking.